What's up, guys? My name is Omarr, and today's topic is the mental health impacts of a son growing up without a father. Now, this topic is one of the core reasons that I've taken an interest in mental health, but I don't claim to be an expert on the subject. I'm just trying to shed some well-needed light on this matter, and any feedback, questions, comments, if I'm missing anything, I welcome that in the comments, and you could also inbox me as well. Now, before we get started, I think it's important to note that there are many reasons why a father may not be there for his son or may not be in his son's life. But this video is not necessarily about exploring the layers behind those reasons. Nor is this a video about a woman or women's ability to raise a young boy or man. This is about the potential mental health impacts of a boy or man when they have an absentee father and what we can do to prevent or solve some of these issues. Now, this applies if the father's absent, deployed, incarcerated, emotionally absent, and in some cases deceased. So, where to begin? We hear so much about how children with absentee fathers are at risk for X, Y, and Z, right? There'll be a reference to an educational, behavioral, criminal, or social consequence. But what's really behind all these consequences? Let's start off with self-esteem and self-worth. Now, many young men with absentee fathers feel abandoned, and they're left with many questions. One of those questions being why? Why doesn't he want to be why does that boy have a father and I don't? Why doesn't he love me? Why does he spend so much time with his other family and not me? It's incredibly painful. And in their youth, young boys can internalize this as somehow being their fault. This can translate into them feeling less than or not worthy of love because their father isn't in their life. And that can trigger feelings of worthlessness and low self-esteem. Now, low self-esteem and feelings of worthlessness in adolescence is also associated with depression, anxiety, suicide, lower academic performance, behavioral issues, and also a higher likelihood to enter into the criminal justice system. Also, when an adolescent male is not receiving love from his father, he may look for love in other places, and sometimes the wrong places. For example, gangs. A lot of men and young men enter into gangs not just for the protection's sake, but because it feels like a family, because of the closeness, because of the love that you get. And also those feelings of abandonment may also extend to the relationship that he has with his mother, because holding down a single parent household is no joke. And a lot of times mothers have to work double duty just to make ends meet. Because of that, it's possible for the feelings of abandonment to be compounded, not just by the father being absent, but by a mother not having that extra time to be there for her son because she's busy working. Having an absentee father can also present unique problems regarding self-identity. For many boys, their sense of identity is shaped by their fathers, whether it be by explicit direction from their father or subconsciously kind of mirroring certain behaviors from their father. Boys take social cues from their fathers to help them kind of develop their own idea of their self-concept. Part of the reason why somebody may say, "You're just like your mother," or "You're just like your father." Now, this video is not about gender constructs, masculinity and femininity, so we're not gonna go there. I'll save that for another video. But our initial understanding of who we are in a larger society comes from our parents. But when a father is absent, a young boy still has to develop his own identity. And if the father's absent, he's left to his own devices to kind of determine who those role models will be. And needless to say, if left unguided, young boys don't always make the best decisions regarding who their role model should be. As a consequence, young men may end up mirroring behaviors which are maladaptive, which oftentimes can end up with negative consequences. Not having a father that is present can also have a tremendous impact on how a young boy or man develops emotionally. When you grow up around your father, you get to witness how he handles conflict. Not only do you get to see what anger looks like, you get to see how he deals with anger. You get to witness not only what it means to love a woman, but you also get to witness what it means to love your potential future children. And without those examples, a young man may be left to figure out those very real emotions on his own. And without some type of intervention, it's highly likely that it'll take quite a bit of time to figure out. Furthermore, when a father is absent and a son's emotional needs may not be met, the son may look at his emotional needs as a vulnerability or a weakness. And in an attempt to protect himself from any further pain from anyone, he may shut that part of himself down. That's when the facade may come up and most of his emotions are bottled up. And when you take a boy whose emotions are bottled up, who's never had clear examples of how to express those emotions, and you compile that with the disappointment of not having a father in your life, you're left with the only socially acceptable emotion that young men are allowed to display: anger. I'm not going to get into everything that can accompany a young man's anger, but as we all know, it can manifest in many ways. So what can we do to help this situation? I'm going to try to answer this based on specific situation. If you're sexually active and you're not ready to be a parent, act like it. Use the form of protection that works for you every time. If you're a man and you're a father and you haven't been in your son's life, it's not too late to start. Sometimes as a man, it can be difficult to connect with your child, especially if you haven't been there. You've got to overcome that fear and remember that your best shot likely is good enough. Stay consistent and regain his trust, and know that it may take some time. If you are a mother and you're going through a divorce, or you're separated from your child's father and he wants to be a father and he's trying to be a father and he wants to be in his son's life and he's not going to be a danger to his child in any way, please do not let the bullshit, if there is bullshit between you two, please do not let the bullshit between you two affect the relationship between your son and his father. Now, I've got a lot of opinions about the judicial system and their treatment of fathers, but for the sake of time, I'll leave it alone. But I'll say this: don't punish your child by making it difficult for him to see his father. For single mothers with a son and his father may not be there to care for him, you're in the most difficult position with the most responsibility on your shoulders. It's difficult to raise a child in a two-parent household, let alone a single-parent household. So my hat's off to you. But if you are a single mother of a young boy or man, there are some things that you can do to help prevent these issues that I spoke about earlier. First thing you could do is to actively structure his life to have positive males in his life consistently. This can be done by putting him in a mentorship program, scheduling time for him to spend with positive male family members, putting him in structured activities with a male coach or teacher. This can mean sports, Boy Scouts, karate, etc. When you enroll him in school, request that he has male teachers. They may be able to accommodate, they may not, but it's worth a shot. Look for support in your religious circle for men that may take an interest in your son. There are plenty of ways to structure positive male role models in his life. The key to it is to pursue it aggressively and make sure it's consistent. Also, if you have a son, don't turn him into your man. The human brain is still developing until he's about 25. If he's a boy, let him be a boy. He's not the man of the house. He's learning how to be a man. Don't put that on him, nor any adult conversations that would normally be reserved for another adult. It's not fair to him because he'll take it on because he loves you. But that added stress and responsibility, it's not helpful for his development. If you're a young man or boy or an adult male whose father has been absent, there's no one person who can fill that void in your life. And if you didn't have other positive, consistent male role models in your life, I can't stress the importance of getting a mentor. I don't care how old you are either. I have 2 mentors. A good mentor will have answers to questions that you didn't even know you had, and hopefully equip you with some of those tools to help prepare you for manhood and fatherhood. I tried to keep it short, but it's a deep topic. I can go on for hours about this. And there will be a video about the mental health impacts of a daughter growing up without her father. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. My YouTube channel is Mental Health for Us, somewhere down here. The channel link is in the description. Again, my name is Omarr. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.